Hey guys, welcome back to World of Warships. Today we're taking a look at the Cleveland with its new heal buff. Of course, we had to take a look at this one eventually. Cleveland's real only downside is its survivability. This ship has the best DPM at the tier, while maintaining insane utility. This ship gets 9-kilometer radars that last a long time. It is very much the best utility cruiser, in my opinion, at the tier. I absolutely loved playing Cleveland. The only downside being that if we got a bad map or a bad up tier into tier 10, it was very difficult to play as we were limited on our shell velocity and range, 15.6 kilometers, and it's a little difficult to lead at those ranges. But pushing in with Cleveland now that we have a heal is pretty fun. We can get a lot closer, do a lot more damage. We will take damage in return though, and usually this would lead to Cleveland often getting focused out early on. Everybody knows how powerful this ship is and the need to take it out early. So we go down, over a quarter of our HP gone, but that's okay. We have 3 heals. This is the most extreme example, I think. There could be others, there could be some hidden gems, but consider this. Seattle has the exact same DPM as us. 243,000 HE DPM and 354,000 AP DPM. Seattle's the exact same. And Cleveland has way better firing angles. We have the same radar, although not quite the duration, but 35 seconds, 27 seconds. Anything caught within that radar that's a destroyer is going to go down anyway. Same hydro here, and Seattle's a larger target. It's not quite as maneuverable, and crucially, these firing angles. Cleveland has incredible firing angles. 25 degrees forward, 25 degrees backwards. Absolutely ridiculous, so comfortable to make use of. On top of that, all turrets are 360, so there is no situation where you have to turn your turrets to the other side. You can always be at the most comfortable angle and firing off the most comfortable side of your ship. Now, what do you think Seattle is? Oh, well, if it's 20, maybe Seattle's just like 30 degrees, right? That would make sense. Maybe even a little bit worse. Let's take a look at Worcester. 34 degrees firing angles. Okay, like 10 degrees worse than Cleveland. That would make some sense. No, actually, Seattle kited angles are 48. That's like GK levels of bad. But you're a light cruiser. With, let me remind you, the same DPM as Cleveland. Yeah, this is going to be one of the most problematic lines to grind going forward because Cleveland is so absurdly good now, and Seattle is, well, it always was kind of free XP bait, to be honest with you, to get to Worcester, and it even more so is now. The forward firing angles are at least 33 degrees with Seattle, but that's still not very comfortable at all, and the same DPM. Basically, what I'm saying is Seattle and Cleveland could trade places at their tiers, put Cleveland as it is with its heal up to tier 9, bring Seattle down to tier 8, and I think that would make more sense from a power level perspective. So enjoy Cleveland while it's here. I've heard a lot of people saying this in the comments and that on the streams, that Wargaming is likely going to adjust some of these ships, and I would have to agree. Just from the pure absurd power level that we're seeing here, Mainz, Baltimore, now Cleveland, there's plenty more ships that we got to go through. I'm having a lot of fun making these videos, as I'm sure you can tell. But let's be honest, this is a little too strong, right? These are incredible ships that are now very, very consistent, even into bad maps and into up tiers. Though I suppose there are ships in the game that Wargaming refuses to nerf that are bigger problems, potentially. Ships like Colombo, for example, got a nerf. We'll have to take a look at that one soon. I'm going to play it this week, don't you worry. But from what I've seen, it's pretty much a side grade, if not a buff, at these more common mid and closer ranges. So if that battleship can remain in its current state for how many years now, maybe we could leave some cruisers to actually be quite playable at mid-tier Wargaming. I don't know, just a thought. I'm loving playing these mid-tier cruisers. Look at this AP DPM, by the way. Cleveland is an HE spammer. This line is an HE spammer. One of the main reasons that I loved Baltimore so much is that its armor piercing was just so good, so nice and consistent, getting those Des Moines shells. Huge upgrade over even like New Orleans shells and Pensacola shells. Wichita also has those same shells. The pen is just extremely nice for consistency. Cleveland, Worcester, Seattle, this line doesn't have improved pen angles. But it's just got a lot of DPM. So assuming people stay broadside, I mean, look at that. That was like a 6K salvo into that Massachusetts at 10 kilometers. Assuming they stay broadside to you, which I have no idea why this Massachusetts did, but I will take it. It's a very nice example. The AP here is absolutely wonderful to make use of. Of course, we swap over to the HE when they angle, when we're dealing with destroyers, cruiser angles, that kind of thing. We pen 30 millimeters here, so no need to take IFHE, at least for me personally. We pen cruisers, most cruisers pretty much everywhere. And for the ships that we don't pen, superstructure is oftentimes massive, right? With battleships and large cruisers, battle cruisers and that, where we're not penning the upper belts or the bow or the stern sections. The superstructure is so big that we can easily aim for that. So that's kind of why I don't often take IFHE these days anymore. The cut to fire chance is too great a cost, as well as the 4 points. There's some very powerful skills. We got things like top grade gunner for 8% better DPM, things like outnumbered for potentially 10% better dispersion. Of course, concealment also very, very powerful on these sorts of ships, allowing us to get into better positions without being spotted, like an island like this one. I think we can farm over them a little bit easier. Closer range also means we're dealing much more effective damage to lower HP ships, destroyers, cruisers, that kind of thing, which leads to Confederates more often. And yeah, Cleveland, Halsey, Confed. And a double strike in this one. So we're activating all of Halsey buffs here on Cleveland, and I mean, the reload is absurd. 4.5 second reload Cleveland is just insane. That's like what Worcester reload is base, by the way. Yeah, okay. I mean, Worcester can buff itself after that, but I mean, 12 guns versus 12 guns with the same reload here. We're basically a Worcester without any module upgrades or anything, or AR buffs at that point. Absolutely absurd, though not an E notably in that one. I think that's because I'm already a week after this buff goes live and the XP values are starting to change. Cleveland was already good, of course, but I gotta say, the XP values on a lot of these cruisers are gonna go up quite quickly. I also want to show you this game before we hop into the live ones, because playing light cruiser is all about the positioning and that, so talking about it live I think makes a lot more sense. But I did want to show you this where we're doing everything wrong, quote unquote, right? Like this is exactly what I would tell you guys not to do. Don't push out in front of a bunch of battleships. Don't push out where there's an island at your back, where there is no opportunity to maneuver away, right? We're very locked into our current line. And yet we can turn in and thankfully avoid some of that damage thanks to Cleveland's very nice maneuverability. And it's okay to take some of this chip damage. I'm just going to continue to push along this line. This game is basically over, but I did want to include this where there's a lot of situations where previously in Cleveland, I just would not take those sorts of risks because I know how powerful this ship is in the late game and utility. And I wouldn't want to throw a match potentially based on making an overly aggressive play, one where I lose so much HP that I no longer have the ability to play a late game more aggressive, where I need to go take a cap, where I need to aggressively take a fight with maybe unfavorable positions. Maybe it's a battleship crossfire, maybe it's a couple DPM cruisers that I have to push into, something like that. Normally I wouldn't be risking so much, but because we have heals, I can now. It opens up so many opportunities. It's not just for ships with like a ton of AP potential, like Baltimore or Mainz, things with torps like Mainz has, where you can do some YOLO plays, that kind of thing. Even ships like Cleveland that are just pure DPM, no close range torps, no improved pen angle AP to bail you out at closer ranges. It's so nice to have a heal, guys. It really is. I'm loving these mid-tier cruisers now. There's some very, very powerful battleships at these tiers. We're dealing with one right now, Massachusetts, one of my favorites, incredibly powerful. I think this was needed for a lot of these cruisers to play against a lot of these battleships at these tiers. You're still going to explode. Like, let's be honest, you're still going to explode in these mid-tier cruisers. They have large exposed citadels, not a lot of armor, so you're going to be taking a lot of overmatch hits as well. And the ability to heal through that, or some of that, has made them much, much more playable. I love this change personally. I would like it, actually, if Wargaming didn't really nerf a lot of these ships, to be honest with you, just because I've been enjoying playing these cruisers so much. I will need to take a look at some of the battleships at these tiers and see how they play. I got a feeling they're still going to be just as good, maybe even better, because more cruisers are going to take more risks more often, and therefore there's more potential for dev strikes, that kind of thing. I'm not sure, but I have a feeling that it's going to be basically no different playing a battleship, and maybe even a little bit more fun, because at mid-tier we get a lot more interesting games where they're played at closer ranges, sub 15 kilometers, where to me these days it feels like a lot of tier 10 games, and get up into super ship games, it's often 20 kilometers plus these days is the ranges that we're playing at, and I don't find that as interesting. So maybe that selfishly as well is something that I am enjoying a lot more of, is we're fighting ships at 10 to 13 kilometers, maybe even less than that a lot of the time, and that's where I enjoy this game so much more. Pushing enemy spawn, of course, this one, bit of a blowout, okay? Not the best example, but I did have to include it a little bit for just the sheer audacity to just full push into some of these battleships, pushing in front of islands, things that normally we don't think of doing, or I would say is not a great idea in a Cleveland. And we're willing to take those risks because of those heals. Did get the E in that one. Some planes helped out the base XP, though. I think our first one was a little better. Now then, positioning your Cleveland. We got ourselves a great match here. Up tier by only one tier. As already mentioned, yeah, Cleveland's basically tier 9, so we're top tier. I don't mind this island here, but I prefer getting a little bit closer. And sitting in this gap is really good because we can farm here, but there's also a way to farm over this kind of U shape here. Actually lets us farm really nicely into their spawn, or at least into the B cap. So we got a lot of options there. It's also quite safe to get away if there's a ton of pressure on this flank. So that's where I'm going to go. That's the plan early on here. Now, I haven't mentioned it, but what's the comparison like between these cruisers and destroyers now? What do you do as a DD against these cruisers? They are much, much more powerful than before. So where's their buff, right? I would say this maybe gives you a bit of a smoother transition into high tier games as destroyers. I think we've all been there where DDs just seem to evaporate at tier 10, at higher tiers. So I don't know. It's maybe a weird way to put it, but this would allow destroyer players at medium and lower tiers to learn the game a little bit more against some more powerful cruisers, ones that don't just get kind of instantly one-shot. Oh, this poor, I don't even know what that DD is, but poor guy got blocked in by the hipper there. And I'm trying to reverse enough to get my guns off to take this guy out. One more shot, I think should do it. Might blind it. Poor guy. That is tough. Yeah, there we go. We get him. Pushing up closer to islands, right? Very important with our only 9-kilometer radar. So we would want to play maybe here or here on that other side would likely be my ideas there. Notably, I have changed my build slightly. I am not running rudder mod. I'm actually gone full conceal now. Just wanted to play some games with that. That Lazo coming over here, sure. Los Andes turned away initially, but you can tell how there's a lot of enemies here. Oh, look at that damage. We will be able to farm these battleships very, very well, assuming our guys don't overpush this and die. Bismarck, pretty far away. I want to focus on this Los Andes as he has damage controlled. So we want the permafires before switching over to someone else. He goes dark, that's too bad. Briefly lit again. No, he's gonna go get away. Okay, that's okay. It's a good start still. This Lazo pushing in could be a good opportunity for us. Another reason we don't want to necessarily take things like the... Oh, wait, I did get a fire. Does that get him lit? Oh, I'm not sure. Another reason we don't want to take like IFHE is because most of these battleships we're fighting have more than enough armor, right? Oh my goodness, this poor Lazo. And, I mean, maybe a good example of cruisers just kind of get one shot anyway. This poor guy is going to get one healed. It's still hard to play cruisers. It's hard enough to play cruisers. And DDs, yes, are going to struggle against this for sure. Oh, does he have fire prevention? Ah, too bad. That's okay. Bismarck super far away. DDs are gonna struggle with this, but maybe this leads to people learn destroyers better at mid tier. You know, there's still not a ton of radars, and they're not as powerful. Cleveland is certainly one of the more powerful ones, but a lot of times at tier 7, tier 6, you're not even dealing with radars yet, so the ability to have to deal with cruisers a little bit longer in your matches, I think makes a little more sense. I don't know. I've always found destroyers to be very good at mid-tier, partially because the cruisers seem to evaporate. Lion on the HE, sure. Perhaps that's too optimistic a take. I'm not sure. I'm trying to play the game, and oh my, that's a lot of damage. I think we just ate an Overmatch Citadel from the Nagato. Perhaps Bismarck, but likely Nagato. So, pretty nice to have a heal, don't we think? Don't we think? What I shouldn't have greeted so much to get all these shots in on the Los Andes. Turns out it was fine. You know, because we're quite exposed through here. Oh my goodness, our team is just steamrolling. Okay, well, that's the first game. All right, 120. We got a little farming done. It's hard to lead these shells at range, notably. So the ability to push in with the heal more is very, very welcome. Well, this is definitely a situation. I love having concealment upgrades, allowing us to ideally get all the way to this island. We're in a full up tier here, so it's going to be a challenge, potentially. We'll see. Getting rushed around a corner by like a Napoli or Vincent's, that kind of thing, could be a big, big issue. This ship does not have torps, doesn't have the improved AP like Balti has to deal with those YOLO rushes. All it has is its DPM to deter people. So we'll try and make the most of it, but that is a notable weakness of pushing up to an island like this one. Sometimes it's a little safer to go for an island like this one. Also very aggressive, but less likely to get pushed here because you have to deal with crossfires anytime they do that. Whereas if they push you around this side, well, the crossfire would be off the map, right? So it's a little bit riskier on this side, but notably a lot easier to get to this island than to this one. Amalfi, sure. Let him go. Amalfi notably should have a smoke screen, so maybe if he gets spotted, then he will use that. Maybe we can take advantage of that too to help us get to the island. A lot of cruisers in this one. Triple battleship tier 10 div. All overmatch us everywhere. That's quite scary, but we got the heal. We got the heals. Oh, and they're on this flank. I mean, in theory, that's a lot of damage to farm. This could be a big game if we can survive it. So yeah, they spawned here and they're going that way. Sure. All right, our Amalfi is definitely lit. I'm gonna open up because and we don't even get spotted. All right, let's get the farm started, Mr. Republic. Come on in. Water's warm. It's lovely. Yeah, there's a fire. Give me. Excellent. So we're getting intermittently spotted. I think it's through this smoke. I do believe that is the case. Our Jaeger is aggressively pushing the 10 line here. Very, very aggressive play. Which, you know what, I like, because it's letting me now pop out a little further around this island than I necessarily would normally, because we're so exposed to the 9-10 line. But this allows me to get some beautiful hits in onto the repub. And not quite able to farm over this yet. That's okay. Cleveland notable for its poor shell velocity, but that helps us a lot in situations like this, where the islands are quite tall. There we go. Got the front guns over. And rear guns over. Nice. Double fire. He'll repair that, right? We'll want to consider the AP if he swaps. If he turns away. We'll want to consider the AP. Ah, nice. Destroyer has been spotted. A little bit less mini-map drawings here, but you see the marker, or however it's pronounced, on the map. That means he's not going to be spotting us from the 9-10 line. And wow, this poor Republic. Yeah, Repub, not the tankiest battleship these days. Oh my goodness. Got absolutely annihilated. All right. DD next or Farm Vincent's? Probably DD next. Though there is a Vincent in range. Can I get over this? Imagine. It's close. Wait, oh, that looked like I could, bro. The little tree. Oh, too bad. Napoli. Notably, we're not going to pen his side with HE, so that's why I'm going to just swap to the AP. Aim upper belt. There you go. Now we're lit. That's fine. Yeah, there you go. The AP damage is pretty nice. We can push up to the other side of this island. So we don't have a lot here helping us, notably. Gotta be careful. As I'm, you know, flat broadside onto this Napoli. Could be bad. But look at the damage we're getting right now. It's crazy. Yeah, nice. Overpens. All we take in return. Oh, look at the AP damage. It's insane. Oh, look at that AP damage. We're up to 64k already. I mean, Cleveland's a farmer through and through, but also a utility ship, guys. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. All right. Yeah, big challenge here is to try and stay alive. But I think we can manage it. Vincent, our Jaeger is doing a lot there. Unfortunately, I wonder if the Jaeger is going to meet the other Vincent here and then die to him. That would be unfortunate. I'm greeting here a little bit to reverse to try and get shots on this Vincent. Looks like we just don't have spots on him. That's okay. So we're gonna have to play this island quite well. For now, we're in an okay spot. Oh wow, the DD's even going back for him. Ah, yeah. Okay. Is this a situation where I play the island still? Maybe. Maybe it is. We got a bungo here with us now. So I should be able to farm this Vincent down. Worried about Napoli spotting us from through here somewhere. But again, our arcs are so bad that we can hide behind these islands that the enemies can't really arc over and we can still shoot over them, which is cool. Getting some outnumbered procs. That's nice for the accuracy. That's why it's looking a little tighter dispersion-wise. As long as I have bungo and like maybe some Kremlin crossfire, we can hold here for a bit. Okay, we're spotted. Sure. Nice. That's fine. Spotted by what? It won't be the DD. He's too far back still. Napoli, probably. Very nice to go dark there so quickly. Oh, Vincent got a shot at us. This is where I would want rudder. Okay, that's fine. 10k hurts, but that's fine. Now we know Vincent is going like this. So we're going to have to play a little bit more carefully along this island. We can't so greedily show everything out to the 9-10 line. And that's okay. That's just okay. I will hydro just to make sure our bungo is not getting a ton of torps at him. Now then, I am expecting the enemy DD to push this cap eventually. So we kind of want to hold for that. Although there is a smoke here. Could I potentially radar that as well? Again, the battleship is back here somewhere. So big island between us and him. 9.7. It's close to stealth radar. Nice. We do catch him. Huge. Vincent full charging us. I'm hoping bungo is going to hold our back line as I deal with this destroyer. It's very hard for DDs to deal with this. It really is. Although our dispersion was not so good on that last salvo. That one I just did not lead enough. Belfast 43! Notable that it did not get a heal. Am I gonna let this guy get away? Ain't no way. That gets him. We'll send another one just in case. Nice, that gets him. Big. So that means that we can actually trade quite favorably into these cruisers. That smoke is actually in front of Encounter, so if Encounter runs out of smoke, then we're actually still going to be covered here. That's funny. Let's not overpush it, because Vincent isn't full sending right now. Ah, he kind of is. He's looking for us, though. Hey, Napoli goes down. All right, we're up to 100k in this one. Not the insane farm that I thought it could be, to be honest with you. It could have been a lot more. But I'm happy with how we played it. I'm very happy. Decision making and all that. We're getting blind fired. Guys, blind fire. Everybody blind fires these days, and it's usually not a good decision. With Vincent pushing like that, I am going to go this way. Yeah, because we just need to keep the island. Like, we're going this way. He's going this way. Keep the island between us and him. I'm also going to swap to the AP because likely it's broadside to start. Yep. Actually, it's more important to kill Belfast right now. He's on our side as well as lower. So we want to limit the amount of DPM that is coming at us in this 2v1. Well, my team is here, obviously. But they are also in a situation of both wanting to shoot me. Understandably so. Now, the encounter here, we want to push behind him. Okay, notice how we're going behind his ship? That's forcing him to turn more broadside to actually fire all of his main guns. He sees that and maybe turns his turrets the other way because it's really difficult to deal with. So if he's going to do that, then I can swing back and just shoot him off the left side because we have 360 turrets, guys. Although he's not doing that. He is simply just back gun only us, which is not going to work, my friend. You need all your DPM you can get against a Cleveland. Yeah, see how broadside he's going to have to go just to shoot those main guns. Oh, he's not even... Maybe just some indecision there. He's not looking with those front guns. Okay. 141, I meant to say. Not 100k, 141. 3 kills, maybe a 4th here, depending on if we get yoinked. We do not. Lovely. I mean, that's pretty good. That's the full up tier. Not the worst possible matchmaker. Of course, subs and carriers could ruin our day, but we didn't have to deal with that. And that's another E. Love to see it. I mean, Cleveland was already great, damage-wise, utility-wise, but the ability to just play some of these islands, the decision-making to stay on that island, I probably wouldn't have done. In hindsight, it would have worked out even without the heal, more than likely. Probably would have gone down a little earlier to those 2 cruisers, for example. But it's just not worth it a lot of the time to take that risk without heal. And now that we have it, I mean, it's obviously pretty worth to try. Hey, finally, this map where it's tier 9 up tier again. Not too bad. But this map where I'm not spawned out here in no man's land. Cleveland would be very, very hard over on that flank, to be honest with you. I probably would make the trek up to this island. But this way, I could just show you this island from this without feeling like I need to waste 5 minutes of my time. Lovely. You know, if you spawn on this flank here, there's plenty of good islands. You know, you can get up into here and get shots this way or this way. You can use this island here, a little safer than this one. You're pretty exposed to that shot if you just sit here. So good options on most of this map, notably 1, 2, 3 line. You're kind of just hosed, unfortunately. Unless, of course, you're like an open water cruiser or something like that. That's possible too. It's still hard though without islands to deal with. But we're gonna play this island bow in, and notice how there's a really nice gap here for us to farm over. And if we reverse out, we can actually sneak over some of these islands here this way. So there's really, really nice angles here. It's a very safe island for a ship like Cleveland. Notice our firing angles, right? Like with our turrets, 25 degrees lets us be very nice and tight to this island while still being able to fire all of our main guns. So now we just got to wait and see what gets spotted. Patience. Okay, got a Los Andes pushing the flank. Lenin approaching us from the middle. And so let's start the farm. Oh, there's something in front of the Lenin too. Prince Eugen, sure. I'm going to try and get a fire on the Lenin here, and then we're going to go Prince Eugen because we pen that a little easier. More effective damage to start with. Prince Eugen's one I should play. That one had a heal, but now has improved pen angles. Maybe Blucher shells, so could be a fun one to take a look at sometime. Not much to it, guys. Not much to it. When you get a map like this, with an island like this, enemies get spotted in front of you, just hold down mouse button 1 and go to town. Use Cleveland's DPM. Not a lot of destroyers in this one either, notably. Not a lot of fires. Wow. Not taking IFHE still. But we're not using the utility quite so much in this one. If Lenin wants to full push this, that's going to be a problem. But he'll push into a crossfire. Got a Musashi and stuff here. Hey, there's a fire. Just gotta complain, right? Ever wonder why people complain while playing this game? It buffs your RNG. It doesn't actually. I'm joking. But it feels like it sometimes, you know? Definitely feels like it. So Lenin pushing this could be a problem. And especially if they have a crossfire here. Again, like I said, no DDs. So I think we can afford to radar this just to make sure we know where he's at. Yeah. And I can't get over this. Do I greed this? Could try. Notably, Eugen or Hipper could be spotting us. Nice. I can get my front guns. Front guns is fine. Would love to get like another fire. Oh, yeah, there you go. Lovely. So yeah, Lenin's gonna push this. That's fine. Just burn him, try and burn him down. Hard to do with Soviet battleship and their lack of a superstructure to farm. This is where IFHE would be nice. We'd full pen his bow. And I would aim for that bow. But look at how good this island is. Much like the Balti video, right? We're playing around with our angles and where we get spotted from. Not getting the fires, so let's go to the EP now that he's broadside enough. Ragnarok is pushing to get the crossfire, notably. And yeah, the EP into his bow. It's looking more saturated now, so we gotta watch that. Maybe upper belts situation at this point. Not greeting for rear turrets, just holding for front turrets right now. Yeah, that Ragnarok could be a problem, but you know, Prince of Wales, Menteufel, NC could help on that sort of crossfire. Not getting the ends I was hoping for, so let's go back to the HE for now. Aim for his superstructure. I gotta expose my ship a little bit more for that. But he's not looking at us. I might get spotted here. Yeah, that's fine. He's not looking. And it was spotting because of the Prince Eugen. If they push through the 1, 2, 3 lines, then I will get spotted more consistently. Ah, yeah. See, Ragnarok's eating a lot of damage there. So he's not going to get the angle on us very easily. So that's what makes a good island, is that you're allowed to farm pretty easily, assuming there's spotting, but also that you don't get rushed as easily. Los Andes is out of our gun range, so we're not actually going to have to deal with him spotting us right now. Hipper, though. See, this is what I was talking about. As they push around, they will get the spots on us. So that's a problem that we're going to have to deal with eventually. And I got spotted here. Los Andes. Okay, Los Andes. Makes sense. Makes sense. It was a little earlier than I thought. Los Andes isn't looking. And we can just reverse here. And I'm actually going to reverse. And notice the 360 turrets on my stern. It's going to let me get my rear guns into this engagement as well, which is great. Our Musashi should be crushing these guys. Our battleship should be absolutely smashing right now. And I'm not leading properly, but that's because I am... Yeah, there we go. There's the citadels. I'm worried about my positioning and the potential crossfires, because we're just perma-spotted right now. Don't want to eat some random massive dev strike salvo from across the map, you know? Los Andes will get a shot on us. Hey, speaking of, Flandra hit our bow, actually, and citadel us that way. That's too bad. So, we should be able to go dark, actually, if we want to here. And I think I will. Just wait for the 20 seconds, and let's go dark. Let's not over-push it, because you don't expect that citadel from a Flandra, to be honest with you, because the dispersion pattern is so bad on that ship, especially if he's going like secondary build or something like that. We would expect to salvo a little more like that one. Yeah, like a single overpen's worth of damage. much more reasonable. Okay, Hipper is down. Eugen is behind the island, so now we can start shooting again. So let's look to this other side. All right, there's plenty of opportunities across this way. That's why this island is so nice, and why it's worth sometimes taking that 5 minutes that we were talking about earlier to get around up to that island if you spawn 1, 2, 3 line. Patience. It's a standard battle. A lot can happen still. Luker is pushing the channel here, so let's get ready for that. I also know there's a Vallejo over here. Yep. Get some shots in here, may as well. He'll likely just continue to push. But if he goes into this channel, we'll be able to farm him pretty easily from this side. Looks like he'll just continue to push. That's okay. We'll get some good damage in, though, for sure. There's Lenin. Great. I needed that intel. Vallejo might get pushed out here. He's pretty low, so I'm going to actually take a chance here to reverse out and maybe get him spotted as he crosses. We have the HP to deal with it. Of course, unless there's a Los Andes already here. Which could be the case. Yeah, there we go. He's in his binoculars, so doesn't notice us quite yet. Unfortunately, I whiffed my salvo there. And again. Lenin not continuing to push. Good. Just pure DPM fight. Oh, nice. He swapped to the AP. I don't think he's got the angles pen for that. Okay. We didn't kill him, but that's okay. Decent enough trade, I would say. Oh, Los Andes is right there. Wait, I did not realize. That's quite bad for me. Especially if Lenin is... Yeah, okay, we're in trouble. Wait, this is a push situation. Wait. Wait, hold. Oh, please tell me the Los Andes isn't full pushing this. If we get into here, then Los Andes can push a ways, and Lenin also can push, and we'll be okay-ish. Eugen is on half, as are we. We should out DPM him. I should get Los Andes spotted. Okay, he's not pushing. Wait, that's good. There's Prince Eugen. Okay, we're in a good spot. It's under pressure, but we're in a good spot. Improved pen angles are going to be a problem here from the Prince Eugen. He's on the HE though, we're fine. Get that HE out, and now, oh, we got the double fire. Would not expect that necessarily out of Eugen. Hold though, no need to actually run our damage control yet, not until he's taken out. Heal though, for sure. There we go. Excellent. Now then. Problem solved, sir. Lenin, big problem. Los Andes, big problem. Big problems, guys, big problems. What am I supposed to do here? This is a push situation. It's scary, but it is a push situation. No, I could get it over. I'm dead. Too bad. All right. It was close, though. It was close. That was good, though. That was good play, I think. It wouldn't have worked if we had just stayed there because of the Los Andes angle, I think. Although he did turn away, so maybe I shouldn't have overpushed that. I could have been a little bit more patient. But you see, cruisers just explode still. I don't know. I don't see this as like a outlandish... It is a buff. It's a very big buff. And we've seen how insane the games can be when you play it well. But you still got to play it well, you know what I'm saying? You still got to play it well, because if you miss position like I did there, you still just lose your ship very quickly to these to the battleships at your tier. So I don't know. I like this. I'm a fan personally. I really like this. I think this was a very, very good change for mid tier. Back in port now, we're running into the same problem where I just want to keep playing these awesome mid-tier cruisers, the very strong ones. Cleveland was a ton of fun to play. Highly recommend you get yourself a Cleveland. I'm loving it. These mid-tier cruisers with heals are incredible to play. The meta is so much more fun than top tier. Much more close range games. It's like the old World of Warships that I remember enjoying so much. High tier has just gotten so passive and boring these days. Okay, I'll leave that rant for another time, but I love it also that these are just regular tech tree ships too. It's not just pure premiums that you're supposed to get to play at these tiers. Mainz, I know Mainz, but you know, there's trading coming up. That'll be pretty cool. As for your build, or the build I was running, looked a little something like this. I would also sometimes swap out like Conceal for Heavy HE and Sap if I wanted to go full Lighthouse. That would include also then swapping for steering gears. Pretty nice there. Gets your rudder shift down below 5 seconds. Which feels quite good, to be honest with you, though not necessary. And we ran into plenty of situations where Cleveland just having 9.3 kilometer detect was very, very impactful as well. Armor layout, 25 everywhere, 27 deck though, so some 380s you can bounce. Wait. Doesn't that mean that the Flanders shouldn't have overmatched? Wait, did he hit? Wow, that's a shot. Unless he hit here, but it's plunging fire. I mean, he's bouncing off of that. Interesting. Okay, well, let's not concern ourselves with RNG in past games. That's how we tilt. This is your Citadel, just barely above water in the middle, but notably under the turrets, much like Baltimore here. It has, I would say no Citadel, technically, yes, but I would say effectively no Citadel. So we can do a lot of that island positioning and poking our nose or stern out to get some shots off. If a battleship sees it, it's often just going to be overpens, which is pretty nice for trades, that kind of thing. Makes it a little easier to play this one around islands, as does the firing angles. Poor Seattle, man. Poor Seattle. Cleveland is just purely better than Seattle, in my opinion, and, well, enjoy it, because I would assume it's going to get changed, although I hope not. Given how, again, I'm just going to go back there. Given how busted Colombo has been for years now, and they just keep on, well, I got to play with it. I think I'm going to go play with it after finishing up this video, just to see. I got to see what it's like, because it seems like it's a buff to me, and that seems insane. So maybe we can leave some cruisers in a playable state. I think that would be pretty cool. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.